Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Friday Night Comics. It's Friday night where I am. I hope it's some I hope it's something where you are. And but I know it could be Saturday morning and I know it could be Friday afternoon or all sorts of things in between. I hope it's a good day or evening as the case may be. You are at, the Sequential Artists Workshop, the We Believe in Comics Friday Night Workshops. Welcome. Sequential Artists Workshop is a nonprofit comics organization dedicated to teaching you comics. You can find more at learn.sawcomics.org. What else? What's the next screen? I don't even know. Oh, we have some summer courses coming up and some autumn courses. For instance, in autumn, just like a regular college, we have a year-long course in comics. It's called the Online Comic Certificate Program. It's enrolling now. You can find out at learn.sawcomics.org. Next week in this spot, we're going to be reading some of the last year's graduates are going to be reading. That's next Friday, August 9th at 7 p.m. So you can sign up also there. In August, I think starting next week, we have Monsters Remix, which is a reading course with Ayani Cooper. She's going to be reading My Favorite Things is Monsters and a bunch of other works with you and talking about them. We have Bootlegger's Guide to Color with Jess Rullifson, who's going to teach you how to use color in any medium and how to sort of cheat your way through it. It's a great course. Saugust just started yesterday. If you don't know what Saugust is, I'll ask you to go to members.sawcomics.org and find out. It's a month-long challenge to make comics with about 100 other people. It's happened. Started last night. It's pretty cool. Lots of time to jump on. The online comic certificate program starts in September. If you want to hear 18 takeaways from it in about an hour, I'm doing that once a week. That QR code will pop up again, and that URL will pop up again. You can find out when that's happening. Anyway, so Saw survives from tuitions and donations. Thank you. If you donated tonight or any other time, it really, really matters, especially since Florida has pulled all funding for the arts, as it's pulling everything else humane out of the state. So it really matters that you guys support us. Thank you. It helps keep these workshops free. It helps us pay the instructors and all sorts of things. So you can also become a sustaining member and stuff like that. So let's get started. No inappropriate speech or imagery. Please keep it PG-13 when you're sharing, and no trolling or hate speech, obviously. Share tonight with hashtag Friday Night Comics and at Comics Workshop. And I'll put Kit's at symbol thing, which is Kit Caboodle. I'll put that in the chat. And you can also join us at members.sawcomics.org. So we are excited to have, oh wait, I guess there's more. Sorry. So we also make PDFs every week. And if you want to join us by uploading what you do tonight in PDF form, I will send you a link and that'll be in the chat as well. And you can find that at Seesaw Comics. Anyway, there's that QR code. Now it says enjoy. Now we'll move on. Kit Fraser, that's you on top of the world teaching a workshop.
Yes.
That's an amazing picture. I saw it on your website. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's the scariest, best workshop ever. Anyway, I don't know if there's anything else to say about that, but it's super amazing. Anyway, but I'm really interested in Caretaking Comics tonight. I'm really glad you're here. Thank you. I'm going to stop sharing and we can move on. Great. I'm going to spotlight you. So watch out. You'll get big for everybody. Hooray. And thanks for being here and nice to meet you.
It's great to meet you, Tom. Thank you for having me. Thank you to everyone at SAW and everyone who is here tonight, spending a little bit of time with us making Caretaking Comics. I'm really excited about this one. So yeah, a little bit about, I'll just do a very short intro before we sort of dive into our topic. My name is Kit. Oh, actually, I'm going to share my screen. That's what I'm going to do.
Also, we love it when you promote, so feel free to sell us books or tell us anything you're working on and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay,
So
cool.
say that, sure.
I have a little something to share here. Let's see. Share screen. Oops, oops, oops. Listen, I can never move fast enough this part.
Are you able to do that? Okay.
Yes.
There we go.
Everyone see?
Yep.
Looks good, right? Okay. So we'll go into slideshow, and here we are, Caretaking Comics. Let me just make you all small so I can read it. Okay. So here we are, Caretaking Comics, but first I'm just going to introduce myself. My name is Kit. I use she, her pronouns. I live in the Hudson Valley in New York, and I make comics, illustrations, and yes, I do some like teaching, art teaching and storytelling teaching. I also do some of that, things like this tonight. So let me see. Here are some of my self-published mini comics, which you can buy if you want on my website, no pressure. So my comics and my stories, I like to draw from my own life and bring it into more like surrealist spaces, dream spaces, and yeah, just like surrealist fantasy spaces. So I have some autobio, semi-autobio, and then I also do some fiction. I like to infuse my comics with humor as well. Some of my work has been in the New Yorker. These are some examples of things in the magazine and on the website. I also have some, other than gag cartoons, I've had some slightly longer work on their Daily Shouts page, which is a huge pleasure and honor to be there. Yeah, you can find more of my comics and my doodles on my website, kitfraser.com. My shop is also there. And you can also connect to me on Instagram. That's my handle there, Kit Cadoodle. I'm on like Facebook and Threads as well, but I mostly pay attention to Instagram and I'm not much on the other ones. Cool. So yeah, if you post your comics or what you draw tonight, I would love to see it. So in addition to tagging Saw, please tag me. I really like to see what people come up with for these workshops. So here we are, we're making Caretaking comics. And yeah, why are we making Caretaking comics tonight? So one reason is it's just important work. Caretaking is really important work. And I also think it's kind of like an undervalued part of our American society, at least just speaking for the US. Like if you look at the, what teachers are paid or homemaids are paid, it's pretty obvious that it's like an undervalued work, but it's extremely important and integral to our society. So I think it deserves a little spotlight for sure. Yeah, if you tell stories about something, if you raise it up, you add value to it. And I think the more caretaking stories there are, the better. I also apologize if you hear my baby crying in the background. It's very like appropriate for the topic, I guess, but I'm gonna do my best to ignore that. Yeah, okay. So raising up caretaking as the vital work that it is. That's one reason that we're making Caretaking comics. Another is that I truly believe everybody has participated in some form of caretaking work at some point in their lives. I'm going to run through some examples just to sort of set the stage for when you think about your own caretaking comic. The first sort of category of caretaking is like parenting comics. It might be my algorithm, but I see like millions of parenting comics and I love them. And there's so many good ones out there. Easy to find, at least for me. I've found a lot of great ones. So here's a few examples. There's a couple more.
Wow.
Yeah, there's so many. I mean, it was pretty hard to just choose a few, but kind of hand in hand with that a little bit is elder care comics. So on the left we have just a page from Ross Chess, Can't We Talk About Something More Pleasant? And then on the right is Liz Fox's Persephone's Garden. So yeah, taking care of parents or grandparents, that's another form of caretaking, of course. The next category I have is I guess I'm calling it like professional caretaking. So I think of anything medical as being very caretaking oriented. Um, on the left, we have a autobio comic about being a doctor by Dr. Shirlene Ogwobi. And then on the right is a fictional character from The Hard Tomorrow by Eleanor Davis. And yeah, both are great. But in terms of professional caretaking, there's a lot of jobs I think that could fall under this category. Like I think any domestic work, any teaching, childcare work, that all kind of falls under caretaking in my mind. And I'm sure there's lots of other fields that that land there too. And feel free to like throw some ideas in the chat if I'm definitely missing some. Let's see. And then like, yeah, there's other forms of caretaking. There's plant care, there's pet care, place care. So like if you take care of your home, you take care of your room, maybe you have a community garden plot. Those are all important forms of caretaking. So I really think everyone has a caretaking story to tell, and hopefully we can tap into our memories and pull some out for tonight's comic. And I also think, yeah, when we tap into that, we're kind of opening ourselves to like building community and human connection. And that's great. The world can definitely use more of that for sure. Yeah, and then let's see, the second or the third, whatever reason I'm on, that we're doing caretaking comics is it's just what I've been doing lately. I'm sort of working on this collection of caretaking comics that focuses on this very intense 3-month period of my life last year when I had a newborn. My dad had heart surgery, so I was helping him. And I was suddenly part of this thing called the sandwich generation, where you're sort of taking care of 2 generations at once. And I love sandwiches. That's also why I chose the title. I just think it's a funny idea to think about myself as a sandwich. Yeah, so that's what I've got going on right now. Honestly, probably less than 10 people have seen these drawings. So welcome to like, you know, this very low-key project I've been working on.
Cool.
Yes, enough about me. We're gonna make some comics tonight. We're gonna start with a couple of warm-ups. The first is a drawing warm-up. I'm calling it A Shrine to Childhood Treasures. The second is just a brainstorm to help us draw on our memories and pull out some caretaking moments and use that for our 4-panel caretaking comic. Yeah, things to remember is that like really just focus on your perspective as the caretaker. You can avoid cliches by just being really specific about your experience and avoid representing other people's experiences and their thoughts, motives, etc. We also, let's see, yeah, we probably won't have a ton of time to make this 4-panel comic. So I encourage you to just keep it loose and have fun and just get that memory down on paper. You can always finish it later. I know I never finish comics in these workshops, but I get a really good foundation laid and then I finish it afterwards. So low stakes, low pressure. It's really about getting your idea on the paper. Yeah, I think that's it for the slideshow. So I'm gonna stop my share. Okay, great. So we're gonna start with our drawing warm-up.
All right.
Yes, I'm gonna, there's like a timing element, so I can keep time, but please grab a piece of paper and a drawing implement if you don't have it yet. We are drawing a shrine to childhood treasures. So the first thing we're gonna do is take 30 seconds to just jot a quick list. Take a deep breath. and go back to your childhood at any point in your childhood. Um, and you're just going to jot a list of things that were important to you. So this could be like toys, books, your first CD or record, your favorite color, favorite foods. Really think about your whole childhood experience and pull on anything that sings out to you. And for the 30 seconds, we're really just writing out a list.
Okay. So
Okay.
30 seconds. Got it.
And here we go. Okay, so that's it. Very quick. You're now going to choose a few of those things, and we're going to spend 2 minutes drawing them on a fresh piece of paper or the back of the paper you just used. Um, and they can be in any composed any way you want. They can just be floating on a page or put into an actual shrine if you want, but it's 2 minutes. So really just get a few of those precious items down on the paper. And the one thing I'd like to ask is that you leave a little blank space on the paper, at least a little blank space, because we're going to add something to our treasures.
Okay. Leave a little blank space.
A little blank space, yes. Okay, so we're going to do 2 minutes.
So it's not really a shrine exactly. It's just more like a drawing that can
Yeah, I
sort of.
mean, if you're feeling ambitious, you could make it into a shrine if you like. But it's 2 minutes, so
Got it. Thanks.
here we go.
Wrote that in the chat. Will you tell us when it's a minute left?
Oh, 30 seconds. I'm so sorry.
Okay, good. It's good. 30 seconds left.
Turn the heat up.
All right.
All right. Now for the next 2 minutes in that blank space that you kindly left for us, you're gonna draw a protector of your childhood treasures. So, yeah, animal, person, creature, robot, a protector of your choice. And we'll have 2 minutes for that as well.
Wow. All right. Got it.
just about 1 minute left.
Oh no.
All right, warm up done. I hope you liked your trip down memory lane.
Uh-huh.
And if anyone wants to share their warm up along with their comic at the end, I'd love to see those too. Um, Great. So we're going to move on to our next warm up, which is really more of a brainstorm for our comic. We're just going to take, let's say, 45 seconds, which is so not a lot of time. So you just keep that pencil moving. Should I do a minute? We'll do a minute. 1 minute to just jot down some of your own personal caretaking moments. And again, you can really reflect on your whole life and all the different ways that you've performed caretaking and throughout your whole life. And just jot down like 1 or 2 words for each. Like you don't have to write out the whole memory, just something that will cue you when you look back at it. Like that's what I was talking about. So we're going to do this for 1 minute.
Okay.
And yeah, ready?
Yep. Got it in the chat.
That flew by very quickly. Hopefully you have a couple of ideas, a few ideas. I want you to circle the one that really jumps out at you, either as the clearest in your mind, or that just feels like the most compelling to tell a story about. And that's going to be the anchor for your 4-panel comic. So yeah, pull out a new piece of paper. We're going to get into our 4-panel comic. Again, there's not going to be a lot of time. I think 4 minutes per panel, which really means that you're sketching that idea out. Like if you finish, bravo, wonderful. But if you don't finish, me neither. I'm there with you. So don't worry about it. It's about getting the memory down on the paper. And you're going to use the one that you circled. That's your anchor. That's the story. You know it better than anybody. If you have trouble breaking that down further and fitting it into 4 panels, I suggest either sticking to like tell it chronologically in 4 beats, 4 story beats, or you can go into sort of just the like sensory emotional experience of that caretaking moment. You know, like what did you hear in this caretaking moment, or what was your emotional state? You can really just delve into like a minute detail in 4 panels. That's another way to go. Um, yeah, I hope that that helps and sets you up for an enjoyable 16 minutes of drawing. Um,
Okay, good.
I think I'm gonna share my screen. I did a cheat and like sketched a comic so I could just do some inking in case there were questions or whatnot while we do this.
You're gonna ink it on your screen?
Yeah, I'm gonna jump on the phone,
Oh, gotcha. Oh,
like mute myself here so that there's no feedback loop. And then my phone will appear. Should I raise my hand, Tom, so that you see my phone?
I mean, you can try. I'll spotlight your phone when it comes on,
Okay,
but um, but yeah, if you could raise the Zoom hand, that'd be great. But anyway,
okay,
we're
cool.
set. 4 panels, 4 minutes per panel. Let us know when each panel when each 4 minutes cycles out.
I will. Yeah. Okay.
Put in the chat some things about it. Okay.
And yeah, and afterwards we'll do some sharing and that will be awesome. Okay, I'm muting myself and I'm jumping on my phone. minutes is up. Um, move on to your, oh,
You're freezing in and out, Kat. I don't know if you can hear me, but
did you catch that? What I said before?
no.
Okay, it's time for second panel.
Okay, good. That we can do.
Yes.
It might be that maybe two connections is maxing out your connection.
It, that, okay, move on to your third panel.
All right. Holly Rose, what is it? Oh gosh, okay. We on the fourth panel yet, Kristen? I see Kristen. I mean, Kristen's in the chat. Yeah, are we in the fourth panel?
Not quite.
Oh, okay. That's a long 4 minutes then. This feels like a luxury.
Um, I forgot to press start on the timer. My mistake. Um, let's wrap up that third panel and jump into the fourth now. Sorry, and I'm setting it now.
Fourth panel, got it.
Bonus.
Mhm.
Okay, that is time. Um, Congratulations, you have the makings of a comic. I'm gonna stop this. Oops. This is my comic that I'm totally obviously not done with, but it's just a little story of how my toddler learned to say no. Absolutely everything.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Oops. Can you raise that Zoom hand one last time? Let's see if it'll work. Oh,
Yes.
there we go. That'll just keep you in
Okay.
the grid. Well, should we take a look at some of what people did? Okay.
Yeah,
No, we had people in the chat already saying they wanted to share. So if that's,
great.
go ahead and
See.
raise your Zoom hand. Um, oh, no takers yet. Slow. Um, oh, there's Linda. I was going to show mine. I'll take a photo and we'll get to it later. Okay, great. We can go to Linda and then learn it. And after that, whoever else shows up. Um, hi, Linda. Here we go.
Hey, thank you so much. Great session, and it really brought back one of my favorite memories.
Awesome.
This is when a while ago, my beloved mother-in-law, when she was 82 and still alive, she came up to Washington, D.C. with her husband, and we marched for choice. The picture behind me, what you could see of the mall, is actually this. So that's my favorite family photograph.
Oh, wow.
She was nearly blind, and but she was completely sure that we should not go back to where we were before, and was a huge advocate of choice. So she came up and we marched. There were 600,000 people. As you can see here, the mall was completely crowded. She clenched my hands tightly for 2 miles. We went past mounted police. We went past the anti-choice protesters who screamed terrible things at us and sometimes threw food, and it was just terrifying. And of course, if you've been in one of those big protests, it's pretty terrifying, even if you're um, able-bodied and everything. And she was small and frail and couldn't see, but she was going to do it. And so this is really a story of her bravery, but my caretaking was being her seeing eye dog for this, and making sure that she, didn't step into anything, and that she didn't bump into anybody, and that she stayed upright. We made it through the whole thing, and um, I'll never forget. It's one of my favorite family memories. And I will say that her husband came as well, and so did mine. So, yay men, yay women. The rest of us could see, so I think it was especially difficult for her.
Mhm. That's a beautiful memory. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Thanks for bringing back.
Oh, yes.
Thanks, Linda. Appreciate it. Okay, we'll go to Learned next, and then Jackie, then Chris. Here's Learned. Here we go.
Hi.
Hi. Trying to get this off here. Okay. All right. This is my little 4-panel. It's called Taking Care of Dad. And in the first panel, it says, okay, who moved my glasses off the coffee table? And in the next panel, he's talking to the kids, and I know it was you that moved the glasses for sure, you know. And in the third panel, it says, there's no point in lying about it. And the kid says, Dad, they're on your head. And in the fourth panel, oh,
Well,
just little things like that. I remember nothing major, just that kind of stuff.
very emotive drawings. Great expressions.
Was there a lot of that Learned with your dad? Was there a lot of that type of thing with
A
your
lot
dad?
of that little stuff like that. Nothing major.
Nice. Thanks so much. Okay, we'll go to Jackie next, and then Chris, and then Gabriel. Here's Jackie.
Thanks, Kit. I may have to split actually take my kid to a movie, but wanted to get my shared, and this is my childhood collection of stuffed cats from the 70s, being protected aptly by Stretch Armstrong. If you remember that guy. This is called advocacy in its many forms. And here we are. Why doesn't she answer my questions? Why do you answer every question that everyone asks you? Jesus, where's this kid's mom? This is my having coffee with a friend, and trying to get this thing. Having coffee with a friend, and he's like, "So E is nonverbal, right?" And I'm like, no, actually, she can talk. Oh, I've never heard her say anything. This is my late mother. Does she have to do that? You do know that rocking is a symptom of autism, right? Because my daughter was stimming and was irritating my elderly mother. Principal Anderson, that's great for the students who can work competitively, but what about kids like my daughter who can't? What are you doing for them? That's me at a school meeting, advocating for her. So, yes, yeah, so lots of caretaking. Advocacy is part of caretaking.
Absolutely.
In many regards. So yeah, thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Very important. Thanks you.
So much. Thanks, Jackie.
Thanks for the opportunity to do this. Cool.
All right. We'll go to Chris now.
Yeah, thanks. This is kind of intense. I grew up in California, but I live in Kansas City now. So about 10 years ago, I would call home and I would get this message on the phone. The number you have dialed has been disconnected or is no longer in service. And then I realized that I would have to fly home to solve problems for my aging parents. And luckily my office can be a laptop. So there I am on a plane. And then once I got home, my mom would be very forgetful and other things. Anyway, she was always complaining about my dad's drinking. And then the last panel is welcome to Kansas City. And so I moved my parents from Napa to Kansas City. And now in this first panel, I'm kind of like, what the heck's happening, right? And now my parents are like, what's going on? It's a lot for 4 panels, but thanks very much.
Sharing.
Awesome, Chris. Thanks so much. A lot of people moving their parents across state lines these days. We'll go to Gabriel next, and then Judith. Gabriel, are you ready?
Hello. So for the childhood thing from my childhood that was protected, I have right here. I'm showing my age here. I have the tape rack of all of my favorite cassette tapes that I would probably watch every day in some form or another, being protected by Secret Service. I'm just now starting to move past this idea that movies are sacred to me, but that's a whole other story. And as for caretaking, I just made a few scenes of all the different ways that I look after my fiance, who has has depression. So first one is just me being there for her when she cries and not saying anything, but just letting her know that I'm there and she can say whatever she needs to. The other is on the rare occasion that we need to go home from someplace that's fun and exciting because she's overstimulated. I'm glad Jackie did a comic about advocacy for neurodivergent people. She has autism as well. And so there are times where she'll just be just like, I physically cannot be here because my brain is overwhelmed. Mm-hmm. And she'll be like, it's okay that we can leave this. It's like, absolutely. You can't take it, then we can take it. The third is this shorthand we have to each other, which is if one of us texts the other the word snug, the other will immediately know oh, this means that they need a little tender loving care. So all they need to say,
Oh,
all one of us needs to say is snug, and the other one will go, "What's up?" And the fourth is me just giving my general support to her through her hormone therapy, because she's trans and is now going through the sort of physical changes that she wants to. And just me being a supportive partner and saying, whatever makes you happy makes me happy. So that's my caretaking.
I love I'm going to take that snug idea. I think that's a great idea.
Oh, I'm glad you like that one.
Thanks, Gabriel. That was great.
You're welcome. Thanks.
All right, we'll go to Judith next. Here we go.
Hi, I'm sorry I came late. It's 2 o'clock in the morning here, and I'm a guest in someone's house, so I didn't do the first one, but I wasn't going to share, but everybody is so open that I can do this. It's an odd one. After my husband died, in Jewish tradition, you tear your shirt at his funeral. It's called kriya, to show that something has been destroyed. And after he died, I took all his shirts and I tore them up, and I started to sew them together again by hand. And for 10 years, I worked on it all by hand, and it ended up being 6 feet by 10 feet. And it's a carrying of his memory and our life together, because I ended up tearing up pieces of stuff. And it felt like that. I didn't expect to do that. And here I am. It's like just whatever. It's very interesting. He and I used to have a phrase like what you just described. We said Mayday to each other if something was going on.
oh,
One of us with the kids or something felt that we might become irresponsible in some way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
So,
totally.
thank you so much. I appreciated this.
Sharing so much.
Thanks, Judith. Really wonderful. Let's go to Nancy next. Nancy, you can unmute, and then go to Nikki.
Oh my gosh, bad hair moment. Okay. This is when I first met my husband. He was then my boyfriend, but my daughter's room, I'm like, wow, what is this? Who lives here? And it's like a disaster. And she was staying with friends at the moment, but she had like trashed the room. She was in a bad phase. And so I cleaned up the room because for him, he had gotten divorced and it was just too heavy to pick up any of the stuff. And I guess Jennifer was rebelling. And then Jennifer comes home and he's like, wow, look at your room. And she's like, yeah, wow, who helped you? And then when I met her, she was like 12 or 13. And she's like, yeah, we'll see. You won't be around in a few weeks, like that. And so, and I said, well, nice to meet you. And then I said to myself, well, we'll see. And so here I am 30 years later. Grandma to Jennifer's babies.
It's a great story.
Awesome, Nancy. Thanks so much. Okay, we'll go to Nikki, and Anita, and then Nikki. Here we go.
Hi everyone. I'll just back screen. I did mine as 4 open panels. Oh, look, and I'd forgotten all about this. So thanks for the happy memory of my childhood. I've written in here, when I was a child, we kept rock pool creatures in a plastic tub behind the house Dad built. The water was supposed to be changed twice a day on the incoming tide because we literally lived just across the road from the ocean. And you come out sometimes, it would just not be pleasant. So I've written here, oh dear, someone hasn't been looking after this very well. Actually, normally it was me. Better go down and get some fresh seawater now that the tide's gone in. And the cat is saying, ooh, that really stinks. And then this next panel is the poor crab's been popped back in. And I'm walking down, filling up, and the cat's going, don't forget to get some fish for me. And then I bring back the bucket of water and re-top up the tub. There you go. Because all the nutrients would come in on the incoming tide, so you'd go in twice a day. You'd have to change the water, so all the anemones and stuff didn't die.
Oh,
So
oh,
yeah, which was quite cool. So thank you very much for the happy memory
Amazing you
of
added.
being a very bad caretaker.
Those are great drawings. Thanks so much, Nikki. Wow.
Thank you.
We'll go to Onita next. Wow.
Hi, everybody. This is so fun. Thank you. I couldn't think of I had a lot of memories from as a kid, but this is from being an adult. So we have a dog. And then we have a dog that would share her food with our cat. And then it was a little too much. So the cat got fat. And then I had to give the cat insulin every day because she got diabetes. So that's my caretaking story of my poor cat, who's still alive now and is like 17 and is doing fine and doesn't have diabetes anymore. But this was really cool. Yeah.
Good caretaking right there.
Yeah.
16-year-old cat, amazing.
Wow. Thanks, Anita.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, we have another Nikki, and then Marlene, and then Allison, and then Kristen. So let's see if the other Nikki is with us. Oh, there we go.
Hey there. I'm going to try and share my screen if that's possible.
Yeah, I have to change the settings. Give me a second for that, Nikki.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Let me see if this works. I've been trying very hard to be disciplined and use my iPad. So can you see that? Poor little.
No.
You can't see that. All right. I'm not sure why it's not. Sorry. Let me try again. Photos. Share. Oh, geez. Okay, come back to me. It's asking me all kinds of questions about sharing permissions and stuff.
Okay. We'll go to Marlene next. Marlene, are you there? And then we'll go to Allison. Maybe Allison. Marlene. Oh, Marlene's coming.
Unmute.
There we go.
Hi there. I don't know why it's gone to my picture. Do the next one and I'll come back, Tom, if that's okay.
Sure. You did just appear though. Is that good?
Yeah. Okay, I'm on, I think.
Yeah. There we go.
Hi everyone. Can you see my drawing?
Yeah.
Oops. Yeah.
Well, I came in late and I apologize because, in Australia, things work sometimes and don't, like at the moment. I think I'm frozen. Am I?
A little bit, on and off.
Well, anyway, I'll try my best to explain. I don't know if you can see anything, but what I've done is actually give you a little bit of an update of how I grew up. In the first panel at the bottom, just a second, sorry. I apologize for the confusion. Anyway, so this one here is all about nurture versus nature. My family members were responsible for my upbringing, and my parents were supported by aunts and uncles who came in and gave a hand. I did it in a Zentangle, as you can see. So there are the two aunts to the side, supporting my mom in growing up. The middle one is about adolescence and the mixed emotions that I felt as I grew up, sadness, happiness, anger, everything mixed up during that time. And you can see my eyelashes are growing longer and longer, with a few tears there, here and there, but generally trying to make um, sense of the world. And then later on, after having had children who are now grown up, I'm the mother central figure, like a big corkscrew in the middle, being pulled in all different directions, and the waves of life flowing towards me and away from me. And I had to really go very fast. I think in maybe less than 11 minutes to come up with these ideas. But I really enjoyed having brain teasers of what I could share with you. And thank you so much for the opportunity. I enjoyed looking at the other artworks as well. Thank you and bye.
Thank you so much. Wonderful.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Marlene. Those are beautiful. We'll go to Allison and then we'll check in on Nikki after that. Here's Allison. There we go.
Hi. Well, I'll start off with the Shrine to Childhood Memories warm up. So I have them up here. And so I only had enough time for 3 items from my childhood. So my Velociraptor toy from the Jurassic Park series, Green Noodles, which was the name that my sister and I used to describe pasta with pesto. Variety of like little this is so specific to me maybe. But I don't know if they still sell them at Universal Studios, probably not. But at their animal actors stage, in the gift shop nearby, they would sell glass animals of just dogs, cats, farm animals, various animals from nature. And I would almost always get one whenever my mom took us there, which was quite a bit. So I had a huge assortment of those as a kid. And as their protector, I have something that's a little more recent for myself. I have the tick protecting them, saying, "Halt, evildoers! This hall of misfit memories is protected by the tick." And yeah. And then going into the actual comic, I titled it "Plant Care, Self-Care." For my first panel, I shared that I've had some mental health challenges recently. I don't know if you guys use the mood tracking program on iPhones, but I do. And, I've had great moments this summer, but there have been some tough moments. And then in my second panel, I wrote that taking care of the plants in the backyard has helped with this. In my third panel, I have that I wrote that it's silly, but I like talking to the plants. And I have a little speech bubble with me saying, "Holy cow, you grew grapes. Awesome." Because the grapevine in our backyard has finally sprouted grapes after so many years. In my fourth panel, I have, and it's led to some exciting moments, such as a coyote coming into the backyard the other week and running off from my screaming, "Oh my God." And then finally here at the very end, I added, "Overall, it's been a good experience," with a little sprout next to it. And yeah, that's my main comic.
Cool. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Really wonderful, Allison. Thank you. We'll try Nikki again, and then we'll go to Chris and then Edgar.
Okay, we'll try this again. Okay, now can you see anything?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So top left panel there, when my dad was in his 80s and really a bit beyond any big adventures, my daughter and I, so that's my daughter on the left with a huge pack, me on the right with also a huge pack, decided to take him on a Camino in Spain. And this is from the day when he caught a chest cold, which added to his heart problems and his COPD. I shouldn't laugh because actually it is the day he nearly perished on the Camino. So he at this point is like at the side of the trail. We're like a couple of kilometers from the next hostel, and he's like hacking away, and we're at the bottom of a big hill. So my daughter and I got on either side of him here and literally picked him up and carried him up this hill. And when he got to the top of the hill, he sat down on the guardrail at the side of the road, and we're like, can we call a cab? Like, how can we get you to the next village? And he refused. He said, no, I am here to walk this Camino, no matter how long it takes. And so he insisted, and it took us about 4 hours to cover the final kilometer to finally get to the hostel, where he collapsed. And it was quite a day. And with every step, if you ever tried to walk that slowly with huge packs, it's brutal, but we couldn't complain, because whatever my daughter and I were suffering, he was suffering more. So anyways, we did get to the hostel at the end. It was but that scene is actually probably the pivotal scene in this memoir I'm trying to write about him, because it really symbolizes a whole lot about my dad, and a whole lot about his journey, and a whole lot about our family, and the way we literally pick each other up and carry each other over the hard times. So that's my comic today.
Wow. Thanks so much.
Amazing that you helped him do that. Sounds like it was like a dream for him, even though it was very difficult. Like, that's really cool.
Yeah, well, it was funny when he would look back on it, he would say, "Oh, that was the best trip ever." And my daughter and I will just like look at each other and go, "Seriously, maybe for you being carried up the mountains, but oh my God, it was so stressful." Yeah, it was a pretty interesting trip. So thank you. This was a great prompt. Thank you.
Thanks, Nikki. Okay, we'll go to Kristen if Kristen's ready. Then we'll go to Kristen. Are you there?
I am ready. Let me make my video on. Okay.
Oh,
so I started out my childhood shrine. I have my Miami Heat jersey that I wore so much that my aunt, who was like a school administrator, talked to my mom about it, because they thought I had like problems. They were like, "Oh, Kristen is wearing a lot of black," and I think they were worried that I was like, I don't know, depressed, but it was really just because I wanted to wear this Miami Heat jersey. It could have been any color. And then my safety patrol belt, and some gems that I had purchased from the store in the mall that was Natural Wonders, where you could like go and buy little gems. And then I had this like weird rosary, like metal thing that I really loved. And I don't know that I like used it to like pray very much, but it just looked cool to me. And then the guardian of these things was the like original Albert the Gator mascot. Gator culture was like a big deal to me and my family. And so like, I always have, Albert the Gator as feels like a personal protector. So then I was thinking about like my caretaking roles, and I draw a whole lot about being a mom, but I don't really draw at all about having been a teacher for many years. And one of my really like crazy teaching experiences was working at a summer camp that was in a state park in Miami. It's Olita River State Park, for any Florida park people who may know. And I was a public school teacher as well. And I was in between like jobs for the summer. And so I was kind of like trying to think like, okay, how am I going to make money this summer? And how am I going to pay all of my bills and stuff? And I was living in Pembroke Pines. I was living like in the suburbs, and Olita River was like way far, kind of out in like North Miami. So it's probably like an hour and a half drive just to get to camp. And then I also, after I had already agreed to do summer camp, then got a job at a tattoo shop. I had just like finished my apprenticeship and like left the shop where I was working. I hadn't found a new tattoo shop to work. And this was in Kendall, which is like way west.
Oh my God.
So I was like, all right, this is what I signed up for. So I had this crazy map that I was driving every day from Pembroke Pines to Olita River State Park in North Miami, and then to Kendall to tattoo. And it wasn't a regular classroom that I was working in. My classroom looked like this. It was just one of these like, park huts type of things, these little park pavilions. There was no electricity in it. And I had to haul all of my art supplies every day to this little pavilion. But it was really beautiful. I had not really like been in that kind of like park before. Olita River is like especially beautiful park because there is like water. There's like a little beach, and then it's like very forested as well. So it was a really beautiful like Florida experience. And I just had bought, before starting this job, a 1984 Volvo station wagon. My boyfriend at the time and I thought this would be like really fun and you know, hip thing to drive around. And it was great for the art teacher job. And then when I was thinking about this, one of the things that stood out in my mind the most was just like teaching. And then one of the counselors coming to me with like, we can't let your group like have chalk freely anymore. You need to supervise the chalk better because they're writing satanic messages on the sidewalk. And so it was like vaso de diablo, escrito en sangre, like written in blood, base of the devil. And I don't know, it just like being outside and going to the tattoo shop and driving the station wagon, it all just kind of, it felt like it fit. All of these things together somehow just fit really nicely together. But it was very hard work and super underpaid. And I think, yeah, I'm tattooing somebody's butt up here. I think also like, you know, tattooing sometimes when done, I think right, can also be a form of care work for sure. And sometimes I really had to do a lot of caring for my clients through that tattoo process. So there was a summer of care work.
Ah.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Thanks, Kristen. Thanks so much.
Welcome.
Nice to see you, by the way. Okay, we'll go to Edgar and Mishka, and we'll finish up with Christian. Okay, everybody. Here is Edgar.
Hey, thank you, Tom, for calling on me, and thank you, Kit, for the inspiration tonight. It's a very powerful piece tonight. It's called Ed Jr. and Edgar III Get Jean Back into Bed. It's a Saturday afternoon in August 2000. I just moved a large bookcase in my home and my back is sore when my father calls. Son, your mother has fallen. Be right there, Dad. Mom is dying of cancer. She's laying in the upstairs hallway, too weak to get up. I quickly analyze the situation and say, Dad, let's put a bed sheet underneath her. Then we'll lift her back to the hospital bed. And Dad says, okay. Of course, if either of us had been thinking, we would have called 911 emergency. We get the sheet under her and start to lift her dead weight. You can see Dad there holding one end of the sheet and me holding the other, and there's Mom in the sheet. I look into my father's eyes a moment later and saw terror. I knew he had a bad back and was about to drop his end of the sheet. I made a split-second decision. I grabbed his end of the sheet and fell to my knees, holding my mother inside the sheet. And you can see the hospital bed there. Then, as I turn and lifting her up to the bed, I feel my back giving out. I'm struggling to raise her another inch. My mother is looking at me. I can't show the terror in my eyes. I pray silently to God, please, God, don't let me drop my mother. God gives me the strength to clear the mattress and lay her on the bed safely. So that's my story tonight.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing.
Wow, Edgar. It's amazing. This is a good reminder to everybody to please share this on social media or anywhere you can. I'll put it in the chat. There's a bunch of places you can share because we'd love to see these again. Edgar, thanks for that.
Oh, thank you for the opportunity.
Another one for your autobiography.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
Okay. All right, we'll go to Mishka and then we'll finish up with Christian. Here we go. Thanks.
Can I share? There's my share button. Wait, nope, that's the wrong button. I chose another green button. Okay, allow. Here it is. Can you see that? Are you seeing it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, so this is called, oh wait, here's the whole thing. Oh no, Christmas tree. So our family always gets a living tree to use for our Yule week. we go pick out a redwood or cedar tree. We spend a lot of time trying to figure out which one's going to be the most viable. And then we often name them. And that's because we usually have them for 3 seasons. And we give them a skirt to wear, like a tree skirt. And they're small, but they're beautiful with all our ornaments. Then we dig a hole so they can thrive in the ground and let their roots spread. I seem to have colored over my words. Last week, I came home from a week-long trip and I saw Scruffy had grown almost entirely brown. Oh no, we've been so busy. We killed our Christmas tree out of neglect. We had not been watering him or her for months. Scruffy just came to our family last year. So my son dug a hole for our dying tree, and the other 2 trees next to Scruffy. It looks so much greener in comparison. I can almost see the big one laughing at poor Scruffy. And now we've probably been overwatering Scruffy out of our guilt. But everybody send your thoughts and prayers for Scruffy. Not doing well.
My God. So your Christmas trees last years and years? You plant them in the ground?
Yeah, they're small. They've got like pots just about 12 inches across, and they're like 4 feet tall. They're not very Christmas tree shaped. They last for a while, and then we think like, oh, it's so nice we're not killing trees. But this one only lasted 1 holiday season.
Scruffy's getting a lot of love in the chat. Good luck to Scruffy. Thanks,
Oh,
Mishka.
thanks.
All right, we'll finish up with Christian. Kit, I appreciate you sticking around. Christian, are you there? All right. Okay, we don't know. Okay, I think we'll just finish up with Kit. Kit, I'm going to spotlight you one last time. There you are. Hooray. Thank you so much. Oh, wow. And it got dark where you are. We saw it was light when you started in that beautiful window there. And now it's
storm happening. I'm really glad my power stayed on so I could see all.
Really? And where are you? I was raised in the Hudson Valley. I was raised in Kingston. Where are you?
Oh my gosh, I love Kingston. Yeah, I'm right outside Hudson.
Oh, everyone's in Hudson. Everyone loves Hudson.
Yeah, everyone.
Yeah, I hated growing up. But anyway, thank you so much for this. This was really remarkable. We got so many really
a total pleasure, and I really appreciate everyone sharing their comics, especially I know like Caretaking, it's vulnerable work and it's really important, and it also is very joyful and funny too. So I really appreciate everyone sharing the many different stories. It was so cool to see, and definitely tag me if you decide to post online. I'd love to see more or see them again if you shared today. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Everyone, I just put it in the chat where to upload it if you want, or share and tag and stuff like that, all that stuff. I'm going to ask everyone to unmute and just give it a round of applause and a thank you as go 10th year toddler. Thank you, Kit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody will have a
Good
Thank you so
workshop.
much. That was awesome.
Beautiful.
That
Really
was so
fun.
fun. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Have a
you.
great night.
Tom.
Bye.
Thanks. Good night.
Thank you.
Take care.
everybody.
Thank you, Tom.
Bye.